Okay, we should be live now. So if you want to take a peek on your timeline and see if we're there. If you're here, hold on. Wait a second. We're just waiting for the stream to come through. See if we can see ourselves. Hello, where are we?
Oh, yeah, I see it. I see us.
Okay, perfect. Let's just jump in. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Candace. If you're joining me for the first time, I'm super excited to be here with my new friend, Sarah. If you don't, my story is that I have been in this space of health and wellness in one way or another for the past 37 years. And I'm a mom, a grandma, a wife, all the things. And I have always spent my life finding healthier solutions for people, whether that be what they put on their skin, what they put in their bodies, or whether they, their health and wellness, and also helping them create income when they want to. And for the last 15 years, I've been really focused on helping women, kind of get back into alignment with themselves, find their voice, and realize their self-worth. And I'm super excited to introduce you to Sarah, all the way from Australia today. We're on opposite ends of the world today, which is kind of exciting. And yeah. Sarah's just getting introduced to what we're talking about today. But Sarah, tell everybody, the people who know you, but people watching from my end don't know you. So share a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. Well, I just think things as well come into our awareness for a reason, and things over my lifetime have definitely shown up when I've needed them. And I guess why this calls to me is because where my focus right now is on the energy of our bodies, and we're in a saturated world of supplements, of wellness. And again, people that know me know that I've in the last 12 months kind of upped the ante of my health journey to support some people in my family, and we've done some really cool fasting and changing diets and lifestyles. So this is just another layer of getting to the depths of how we can really shift the needle in our health and our wellness and feel better in real time. Because supplements take time to do stuff. And I feel like this is going to be a real bang for your buck and a real shock to the system of like, here I am, and this is happening and doing stuff for you.
Yeah. I love that you said like people are kind of overwhelmed with supplements and stuff like that. We're also overwhelmed with news and the things that are going on in the world, just the emotional load that people are carrying, through the last few years. I think people have reached that level of high cortisol, high stress, overwhelm, anxiety. At least I know here that's what it's like. I'm guessing it's pretty much the same for you guys over there too.
Yeah, unfortunately it is. It's a lot. And, hearing that we as humans were not designed to know about all of the stuff that goes on in the world and all of that negativity, because we weren't designed to carry that. We weren't designed to cope with that.
Yeah. Yeah. And as a result, a lot of us are living under that anxiety, overwhelm, panic, that fight or flight kind of part of our brain, right? It's just ready to do whatever it needs to do at any moment. So that's why I'm super excited about this. And I know that we're going to talk today about frequency. We're going to talk about frequency, energy, vibration. We're going to talk about some products and some things that can definitely help with that. And then we're also going to talk, because when Sarah and I talked the other day, she was talking about economy and the price of things. And it sounds like it's the same for you guys as it is for us. The cost of living is skyrocketing and income is staying the same. And people have a gap that they're trying to meet without giving more time to a job and being out of the house and being away from their family and doing all that kind of stuff. So we're going to talk about that in a second as well. But Sarah, why don't you share a little bit about what you have? I know you've been involved in frequency and energy lately in a more intense way. So share what you've been learning or are aware of now.
Yeah, so part of that attraction and what showed up for me was finally doing some of the things that I've known have been out there for a long time. And so I love to follow my heart, my intuition, what shows up and what feels right. And then I tend to over research and dive really deep. And I just believe that science catches up with a lot of things that, say yogis or naturopaths and healthy people have known. So I've seen and I've witnessed that for years and for decades of my life now. And I, heard things as a child about health and dis-ease and liver cleansing before, to me, it was even like a thing that, most people have heard of now. And the frequency is a measurable source, and it is actually our source of not just energy, but ability to be joyful, ability to, manage some of those external stresses and internal stresses, which Candace said, we all do have. And one of the big stresses for me is just watching people around me be unwell, watching people around me be uneducated and buying into all the crap that makes us sick. Like, it actually hurts me on the insides to say this. I don't think I'm quite unstable enough to break down in tears saying that, but it actually is quite emotional when you have people you love and and that have been part of your life forever that are really unwell or struck down by disease because of this normal life that people live, and they think nothing of it until you're really, really sick. And we are in times where people are not recovering from that. People are leaving us. So I dove in with a friend who has a machine, which is, it's a very analog looking machine that measures our frequency. And it doesn't just measure one measurement of here's your frequency. It measures your frequency and it gives you feedback on emotions, on physical sides of things, on food intolerances, on traumas that happen to your life. So it's kind of like the technology of it is a bit like an old school radio. And that's how simple and basic frequency is. But again, it's one of those things that we can't see, we can't touch, we don't know how to measure and control besides trusting ourselves and actually knowing how we feel. And that's one of the things I'm really big on is I love the science and I love all of the information, but I have to feel it as well. And I will base what I feel in argument against the science sometimes if it doesn't align for me. Yeah. So taking control of our own health, this is another step for me. And in the testing that I did, there were like 12,000 things that could be tested. And the lady sort of navigating the machine was like, we can't do all of that. So we're just going to follow the path of your health and your relevance. And, she actually also told me I was a bit obsessed with my health and that I should just take a step back because I'm healthy and I'm well and I'm fine. But the one thing in that statement and saying that and what came out of this session was my frequency is actually much lower than it should be. And, I truly feel that. And I felt that for a long time. Like I do a lot in a day and I like being busy and active and physical. I don't like being exhausted by it. I don't like going, must be getting old, because I think that that's crap. I don't think that we just get old and sit on the couch and drink cups of tea. Like, we take care of ourselves and we keep the system well oiled and well supported and, not over the top of supplements, which I've been guilty of, lots of supplements. If you've got an ailment, I can tell you what supplement you need, I'm sure. Whereas what I love about this one is the frequency is actually going to, I just actually picture it and feel it hitting my soul and allowing me just to beam out. And then I have energy for myself. I have energy for my animals. I have energy for the people around me I give to. And then I still have to keep working on those around me that suck my energy, because that's not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's such a forgotten part of health and wellness, right? Unless you go to what people consider like a woo-hoo doctor, which is so baloney, because like you said, it is complete science. Nobody talks about how your frequency and your energy is causing your disease, like you said, and can be such a big part of healing and getting back to health, right? I love that. And so just to, I'm going to share a little bit about my experience, and because I know that Sarah is really new to what we're talking about today. She hasn't even had a chance to experience it yet. So I'm going to share my experience. Much like Sarah, I've been on that more natural approach to health and wellness for a really long time. And I've always been looking for ways to do it a little bit more crunchier than mainstream, so to say. And about 15 years ago, if you're here, say hello. If you're catching this later, hashtag replay. If you know someone who can relate to what Sarah and I are talking about, please put them in the comment or tag them in afterwards. But about 15 years ago, I got hit with menopause and an autoimmune disease that hit me like a brick wall. And I literally remember sitting on a chair crying, saying to my husband, I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, I just feel like I'm shut down. And so I started on a path of naturopaths and supplements and all the kinds, everything. And I've been on that path for the last 15 years. And I've tried some really great, more natural, holistic approaches to things. And I have found some, things that helped and made me feel better, but nothing that lifted the light that went out when I hit menopause. It literally was like a day that my light went out. And I've struggled with mental chatter. If you can relate to this at all, I think especially as women and as we age, that mental chatter seems to pick up, not slow down. I would literally wake up at 3 a.m. in the middle of the night in complete thought. Like the last conversation I had at night before I went to bed was still running in my head. It had never stopped. I would, feel so dark and so sad and have such sad days. When someone would ask me, how are you feeling? I'd be like, I'm good. I'm good. Like so many of us answer, like in my head going, I'm not good, but I'm good. Like, what else am I going to say? Lack of energy, couldn't lose weight. Just no matter what I would try, it wouldn't, that negative self-talk, just everything was really wearing on me. And I would find little things that would tamp it down for a little bit, but most everything felt like it was coming from the top down instead of the inside out. And for a long time, I had done things with tuning forks and sound baths and all of that kind of stuff, but I never really grasped the concept of how frequency could really impact every single organ and everything that's going on in your body. Every organ you have is related to some frequency. And I didn't really understand the whole concept of frequency till these last few months where I've started to really in depth with that. So about a month ago, I got introduced to this, and we'll talk about it in a minute. It's a little powdered drink you put in your drink and drink it up once a day. And I will say that within about 20 minutes, and I'm just going to be really clear, we're not curing, we're not treating, we don't recommend you not take medications, we're not saying any of that kind of stuff. This is a support system for you. But this little drink, within about 20 minutes, I was sitting in this exact same chair, and I remember just feeling like my shoulders went down. Like instead of this, I could just feel this. Yeah. And I felt like someone gave my central nervous system a hug. It was just like, right? And it just kept building and building. About 3-4 days later, that was a Tuesday. On the Saturday, I woke up and my husband looked at me and went, you're different. And I went, what? And he goes, you just look different. You woke up this morning with fire in your eyes. And I had to sit with that for a minute because I was like, what is that? And it was like I had this feeling in my heart that was like, oh, I think that's joy. I think that's what joy feels like. And I remember my daughter saying to me, like, Mom, you never feel joy? Like when you're with the girls, her daughters and me, you never feel joy? And I said, it's not that I don't feel joy. It's that I feel disconnected from it. I can feel it to a certain level, but it never, like my smile is on my face, but not in my heart.
You're going to make me cry now.
I know, because you have no idea how much I've been searching for. I didn't even know how much I was searching for this. And about 4 days later, my husband and I were having one of those marital discussions, the ones where everybody's expressing their opinions, and it's not a fight, but it's a discussion. Yeah. And I could get pretty animated and pretty frisky in those kinds of situations. And he looked at me and goes, you're so peaceful and calm. Like, this is unusual. And I felt like, I said to him, I feel like we have all the same problems we had a month ago, but I can see the other side of those problems now. And I was living in a space where I thought of the problem and I just could not deal with it. Like I couldn't see an answer out, almost feeling hopeless in a lot of ways. And are you gonna? Are you gonna?
Plug the computer in.
I was gonna say, are you about to? You need some frequency to your computer.
Yeah. Okay, I'm in live. We're good.
So literally, it's been a month since I've tried these products that we're going to talk about in a second, and I literally, people stop me and go, "You look different. What is going on with you? What are you doing?" And I have to say, for the first time ever, I feel like it's coming from the inside out instead of the top down.
Well, that's what I explained I'm expecting. And this is where I trust my body. I'm expecting this. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I think we all experience that, not just as women, but I think we're more aware of it as women.
Yes.
Being disconnected from that joy. And, people that follow on my page have seen, like I post a lot about the sun. I'm like, the sun just can bring you joy. We need a charge because the sun carries frequency too. Yes. And there's all places we can get frequency charge for free, but do we?
Yeah, exactly.
Drink is much easier. And I feel like I'm trying to do those things, and I feel like I'm doing those things.
Yeah. But you're being intentional. Think about the person who doesn't have the time to be intentional about that, or doesn't know how to be intentional about that. And you're so right. We're around frequency every day. Computers give you frequency. Some's good, some's bad, some's, whatever it is. But it's all frequency. And even, when you think about it as simply as you said, like the sun, how many times without even realizing it, have you said to yourself, and if you can relate to this, drop it in the chat, where you've like, I need to go outside for a minute. And you go outside and you can just feel your spirit rise. Or you play your favorite song and you start dancing in the kitchen and you're like, whoo, that just lifted my spirits. Or maybe over here, I don't know about in Australia, but things like grounding sheets and vibrational plates and those kinds of things are getting to be very popular because people don't know necessarily why, but they feel better with it. And that's because you're raising your frequency, right? You talked about it, that you had a very low frequency, and the lowest frequency you can be is in fear, grief, guilt, shame, sadness. If you think about that, how many people live in that space? Even maybe it's a trauma you're going through, maybe it's a death you're going through. And if that's the very lowest frequency, joy is the very highest. There's all those ones in between. And every time you raise that, you're just going to feel better and better. It's the reason why mindset work doesn't work a lot of times. You can say the words, but if your frequency isn't aligned with the words you're saying, nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
Right? So let's talk a little bit about these products and what makes them so amazing. So this company came to be because Dave and Barb Pitcock, a lovely couple, had a daughter who was suffering with mental health issues and actually OD'd on fentanyl 3 or 4 years ago. And they were looking for a way. They grabbed her, they took her home, they wanted to put her in a bubble and try to make her better in some way. And they were doing some research and they came up with this product, which is Rise, which is a drink of 7 mushrooms, adaptogen mushrooms. And I'm sure Sarah can explain that better to you than I can. I'm not a scientist in that way at all, or know all that information, but we can get you that information if you want to know about it. So they made this drink with methylated B and 7 adaptogen functional mushrooms. And Dave had always been interested in frequency and vibration and energy. And they thought, what if we put the two together? So they got a proprietary medallion that actually can embed 11 harmonic frequencies, up to 200 hertz of frequency into the product. So they took this drink, and any of our products will either have a steel ball. If it's a roller ball, they'll have a steel roller ball, or they'll have this medallion on it. And what they do to this with this proprietary medallion that has 11 harmonic frequencies is they put these products into that medallion for 2 hours, and those 11 harmonic frequencies are imprinted on that product. It's in this, you can see that, it's in this. We even have it in jewelry. We have it in pet tags. So if you have an anxious dog or an anxious animal, you can get a pet tag. We have it in essential oils. We have it in skincare. We have it in jewelry. We can put anything into that medallion and have it imprinted. So they did this for their daughter. She took this, said to her parents after a while, Mom, we have to let the world know about this because it has literally changed my life. And so that's how the company Frequence came to be. They gave these products out to a few people and said, try this, see what happens. And these people came back and said, my mood is better. I have more energy. I'm sleeping better. I don't hurt as much. It was just on and on and on. So that's how the company came to be 3 years ago. And they have a very big mission we have our Angel mission, which is about, they really want to create mental health homes for people for women especially, who are suffering with mental health issues or addiction or whatever. They want to change the world with these products, not just sell the products. So everything you see will have this on it. And this little drink is a nootropic drink that you literally put a scoop of it in water and drink it all day. We also have this is my favorite thing. This straw is charged with those 200 frequencies. And it's anti-wrinkle, by the way, if you care about that. And everything you drink through that straw is going to have those frequencies in it. So when you're drinking this drink, not only are you drinking the 7 adaptogen mushrooms that are helping you, you're also getting that frequency. And then we have our trace minerals, our source trace minerals, which is black fulvic mineral powder with zinc and magnesium and copper and all those minerals that we're all deficient in, right? Just because of the soil, how we grow things nowadays, what we're exposed to, all of it. So these are 2 basic ones that we're like, everyone needs to be on these. Whatever is going on with you, these will be an impact. This is lemon mango flavor. We also have a decaf one. So if there's people giving it to their kids who are struggling to focus or just are feeling anxious, like literally within a half an hour, and I'm not making that promise, it might take you longer. Like Sarah said, the healthier you are, it might take you longer to notice impact, or it may not be as impactful as it is for some people. But I know for me, I was in a depression. And so it helped my dopamine levels right away. And I could feel that almost instantly. And so you take 2 droppers of these a day. You can put it in here, take them together. They're delicious. We also really have this, it's called Reverse. It's an NAD. You know anything about NAD and NMNH? I can't say all those things. It actually helps with your DNA repair. As we age, your DNA gets frayed on the end. There's a word for it. I forget what they're called. Telomeres, that's it. Thank you. See, you're already way more brilliant than me. Telomeres, and this helps to repair those telomeres and actually helps with the anti-aging. I noticed, and what I'm hearing from most people is the sleep is ridiculous with these things. I go to sleep and I sleep through the night, and if I wake up to go to the washroom, I go right back to sleep, which I would lay awake for hours and watch the ceiling until I would go back to sleep. So this is really cool. My husband has chronic back pain, so I put him on this, and we're going to run out before our next one comes in. So I'm curious. He hasn't used an ice pack since he started this. Otherwise, he ices his back every day. I'm curious to see, as we're waiting for our next one to come in, to see if he starts icing his back again. He hasn't noticed that. Just I noticed that.
Yeah, of course.
So that's a little bit about how this company came to be. And the really exciting part is that we're fairly new in Australia. We're new in the world. We've only been around for 3 years. And I'm in Canada, and we just basically launched Canada in a real way a month ago. And all the other countries are just starting to be aware and get these products into their hands. And Sarah is going to bring it to Australia for everybody who wants it out there as well. So it's super exciting because we have a whole bunch of different ways you can get your hands on it. And as I said, I've been in this network marketing profession for 37 years. Sarah, I know you've been in it for a while, and I've been with multiple companies, and I always like to make comparisons. Not that one is necessarily way better than the other, but I always look for something that's different that I know in my experience I wish we had. I always have a wish list when I look at companies, and this company really has way outshot what my wish list was. And number one, I'm going to share this because I think anybody who's even dabbled in this profession, one of the things that spoke to me was this company actually pays you your commission and gives you your discount on the full dollar. If you've been in this business before, you probably know about QV, CV, BV, PV, all the Vs, because that's the way they pay you on a percentage of what you sell. Here, if you sell $100, you make your commission on $100. That $100 counts as your volume. And you can make commissions starting at 5% all the way up to 30%. We have pool shares that are paid out every month at certain levels. You get discounts. if you just want to be a customer, we love customers. We have a great program for you too. When you become a customer, you have a link, and when you get 3 people who use your link, you get points towards your next order. So you could get your next order for free or discounted or whatever, just by sharing your link and saying to your girlfriend, you need this drink because you're anxious, and it'll help you with that. It's as simple as that. And if you want to come in as an affiliate, you can do that too. We don't have big startup costs. You can buy the products that you want to try first. That's enough to get you in. And you can start making income right away. You can buy, we also have what we call a 5-day experience. And these are these little packs of this drink. And if you want to, you can do a 5-day experience. If you're, a little bit more skeptical and you want to try it first, Sarah will have these little 5-day experiences that you can purchase from her to give it a shot. But if you're like me and you're like, I just want to jump in and try it, we also have a 30-day money back empty bottle guarantee. So you try it, you don't like it, you can send it back, get your money back, because we're that confident that you're going to have an experience right off the bat. And so, if you are looking for a way to make that extra income, you're like, I don't know how to, I want to add that little bit to my my home budget, and you do know people who suffer with the things we talked about, you really owe it to yourself to look at the opportunity as well.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. What's got you most excited about it, Sarah? I know that you're very excited about the frequency and the products. Anything else that's got you really?
Well, I just think everything, with the company has just ticked a box for me as well. Like, the product itself is what drew me in, and the frequency. And, it was really cool when you were explaining the different levels of joy and frequency. And I was actually having that conversation about the organs and the frequency with my partner a day before Kim messaged me about the product and started telling me about it. And I was like, what? Can you stop now? So, and then everything I looked at, like the story of how the product came about for their daughter, I think I totally did cry in that story. And just, like the whole, everything just was raising my frequency as I was reading and learning more. And just, the knowing, the womanly knowing of this product is what I need. Right. And I think I wrote on Facebook the other day, I've never been so expectant of a product to land. And I'm just like very open and yep, cool. And that was actually the feedback the frequency session gave me, that my body was very open to lots of supplements, didn't really need too much because I was already taking mushrooms and minerals. So now I'm just replacing them with the Rise and the Source. And I'm adding the bonus of the frequency in, which is like what the universe right now is showing me is being missed. And so that's all, selfishness, all about me. As I said before, watching people around me being so unwell and just constantly hearing about hospital visits, doctors, and this person's not getting help. And, it actually breaks my heart. And I think that in itself lowers my frequency. So I'm always just helping and connecting. We have a brilliant wellness center very close to us. And I need to ask the lady if there's a referral rewards program, because I think I'm like sending her all of her business at the moment. And it's just who I am, and what I do is I share. So that's why I'm here with you today. And, the more I can share, if this can become my life and my income and top up income and just get me free products, then again, I feel like there's just this energy force expanding and everyone can come along for the ride. Yeah,
I love that. And, making an income and being financially struggling also lowers your vibration and frequency, right? So, there's that opportunity too. And when you can have the opportunity to help people with something that's going to do them good and make some income at the same time, it's the most beautiful thing ever. And I just did want to say, I also forgot to mention it, that like if you have a phone, we have everything for you. The videos that Sarah's been looking at are all created for us by doctors and practitioners. You don't have to be a frequency lover or have all the product knowledge. you've got the support. Like I said, I'm in Canada. Sarah's in Australia. Kim, the person who she's joining with, couldn't be here today, but you have that support no matter what, where you are. And I know that oftentimes in this profession, that can often be lacking, where you kind of feel like you're all by yourself. And though we're continents away, we will be here to support your team and the people who join with you with everything that we can, whenever we can. Nowadays, with this kind of technology, you can.
It's easier.
Yeah, exactly.
But also just so beautiful meeting Candice recently, and the support just jumped in and made this happen and shared this for me, for you. And yeah, Kim that can't be here, she's just like the most beautiful human that I have known for some time now, connected through a friend who was in Canada with her. And many of you know that I kind of have not really roots that go back to Canada, but a very special time in my life of spending a couple of years there. So I have, Candice doesn't even know these stories yet, but yeah, I have friends in Canada, and a piece of my heart is in Canada. But just going back to the support side of things, I've actually never felt this supported within any company where I have explored network marketing before. So I think that sort of speaks to the product as well as the people. The frequency is just vibing everybody.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny that you have ties here in Canada. I spent time in Australia for 8 months as well. So it's funny. You never know how you're going to connect with people, right? It's so cool. Yeah,
absolutely.
Awesome. So Sarah, it was so lovely spending this time with you today, and I look forward to spending much more and meeting your team and your people who you introduced to Frequence. And if you watch this at all and you're like, man, I need to know more about that, reach out to Sarah if you're on her part of the world, or have connection with her. If you watch this and have connection with me, you can reach out to me. If Sarah doesn't know where to find something, we're going to get that to her. We're going to get her all locked in with everything that she needs to know. And anybody who joins with her will have that same support, whether you're a customer or an affiliate or whatever you choose to do. We're just grateful that you want to spread the word of Frequence with everybody in the world and make an impact.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, thank you for joining, everybody. We're going to shut it down and be sure to put your comments if you want more information or if there's any way we can support you. Have a great day.
See you.